Hey, everybody, welcome back to Echo Base Network. So glad to have you here today. When I see articles like this, the next Star Wars movie will completely rewrite Return of the Jedi's ending. This stuff right here fires me up. The subheading here says Return of the Jedi ended on a note of triumph, but the next Star Wars movie will sadly undo that, revealing how false those hopes really were. And basically, it makes the Republic, the new Republic, the former rebellion after they were victorious, it makes them look stupid in hindsight. And that is a byproduct of Disney's storytelling. Star Wars' next movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu, will completely change the way you see the ending of Return of the Jedi. Star Wars hasn't been back in the cinemas since 2019's The Rise of Skywalker, but that looks set to change. Over the last year, Lucasfilm has announced several upcoming Star Wars movies, with Jon Favreau's The Mandalorian and Grogu first out of the gate. You guys remember that was the funny one that they actually posted on a blog over at StarWars.com. That was the grand reveal because it was a total knee-jerk reaction and is further indication of Kathleen Kennedy's failure as the president of Lucasfilm. Few details have been revealed about The Mandalorian and Grogu at this point. Still, the end of The Mandalorian Season 3 seemed like clear setup, giving Pedro Pascal's Din Djarin a new role working for the New Republic as he hunts down Imperial loyalists. The prominence of the Imperial Remnant has massive implications for the end of Return of the Jedi, subtly rewriting it. Return of the Jedi ended with celebrations across the galaxy. You guys know the scene. Even the original, the non-special edition, what an iconic ending to a trilogy. As a matter of fact, that is the one that I prefer. Now, I did like seeing the statue and the different planets and places like Coruscant. When you see the statue of the Emperor falling in the Star Wars Special Edition, that was a nice touch, but nothing will ever beat the originals. It was pure pandemonium when the rebellion actually won the war against the Empire at Endor. The Emperor was dead and defeated. Our heroes celebrate, and George Lucas tied a beautiful bow or ribbon on his trilogy. The article tells us, though, empires don't just cease to exist when their leader dies. They find new leaders, and the Empire in Star Wars is no exception. Star Wars has already confirmed the Galactic Civil War raged on for another year, ending at the Battle of Jakku, but The Mandalorian Season 3, set 4 years later, proves the Empire was still active even after this. The Mandalorian Season 3 introduced an Imperial Shadow Council, secretly coordinating Imperial remnants across the galaxy and even secretly working alongside pirates. Ahsoka has now brought back Grand Admiral Thrawn, the Empire's most brilliant tactician, to lead these Imperial forces. It's all set up for a resurgence of the Empire, one that doesn't seem to involve Palpatine at all. While the Emperor would eventually return responsible for the First Order, this is a case of Imperial leaders operating apparently without his authority. So the Return of the Jedi celebrations, according to the article, now seem a little more premature. This wasn't necessarily the case even after the revelation that the Empire didn't fall until after the Battle of Jakku, because the Emperor's death previously seemed to be the beginning of the end. That's no longer the case. An Imperial remnant remained active for 2 years after, and it's safe to assume experienced and resurgence under Grand Admiral Thrawn. Rather than feeling triumphant, Return of the Jedi's ending feels laced with false hope, says Screen Rant. The ending of Return of the Jedi has been transformed from a moment of victory to a microcosm of one of the New Republic's biggest flaws. As Ahsoka and the Mandalorian show, the New Republic wanted to bury its head in the sand when it came to the ongoing Imperial threat. The people didn't want another war. They wanted to ignore the problem in the hopes that it would go away. As a result, the Empire was able to continue acting in secret, eventually becoming the First Order. These problems will no doubt surface in The Mandalorian and Grogu, shining a light on the true state of the Star Wars galaxy after Return of the Jedi. Ladies and gentlemen, the issue that I have here is that nothing that Disney does should alter the way that we view George Lucas's original trilogy. Now, in terms of story, yeah, it does change it. But as a fan, I am not going to allow anything they make to take anything away from the original trilogy that I love, even the prequel trilogy. They already did it with the movies. They brought back Emperor Palpatine. The moment you bring Palpatine back, you have just rendered Darth Vader's sacrifice moot, a pointless death. The victory Luke Skywalker experienced, also rendered moot, and thusly, the story that George Lucas finished, hollow and pointless. And see, it hurts to actually say those things because in my heart of hearts, I know that's not true. Again, it doesn't matter what Disney does. It's interesting that Kathleen Kennedy has said that the one thing that they want to do more than anything else, besides hire female directors, of course, is they want to move away from the Skywalker era, the Skywalker saga. Well, here you are in a setting set 5 years after Return of the Jedi. Luke Skywalker is still Luke Skywalker. He's not the one that we meet in The Force Awakens quite yet. And they are already destroying the legacy in the characters, in the stories, the legacy of the Republic, the New Republic. What was the rebellion? See, once the rebellion won, that's called a revolution now. If your rebellion is successful, it is a revolution. The revolution created the New Republic. And Disney Star Wars has shown time and time again that the New Republic makes terrible decisions, terrible leadership, and it should not have been told that way. Not in my mind. Making the heroes of the past lesser than. Not a good way to honor George Lucas' Star Wars. Anyways, guys, that's the article. Let me know what you think about it. We'll see you live on Thursday and Friday afternoon. We are UR Echo Base Network. May the Force be with you. See you in the next one.